We're going to go ahead and take our first question from Keith Eidig. Keith.
You're on mute, Keith.
Thanks, Kenneth. My first question is for Jose. Jose, I know Ray just asked you about, maybe outperforming Isaac Cruz. What are your thoughts on fighting Isaac Cruz? Because I think people would be very interested if you two guys are matched somewhere down the line.
I think that's a great fight. If you've been following me on my career, I've been asking for Isaac Cruz before he fought Tank. And if after I beat Corrales, hopefully they can make that fight happen. I know me and my team are down to do it. So I'm hoping his team and himself are down to do it.
And what did you think? Everyone seems to think that he gave Gervonta Davis the toughest fight of his career. What did you think of that fight?
He gave him a good fight. But he didn't win. People are praising him like he won and like he's this great fighter. But that's okay. I think that's good for him for his career. But when he comes against me, it'll be a totally different fight.
And Jose, what's the reaction been in terms of enhancing your reputation off of the Vargas win? Vargas is obviously an older fighter, but no one had done that to him throughout his career.
Sorry, can you ask that again?
I said, what has the reaction been in terms of the enhancement of your reputation? Because you blew him out in a way that had never been done to him before.
Well, my reaction, I knew I would win. I was feeling real strong through the whole camp, and I knew once I caught him, I would eventually hurt him. I just didn't believe I would catch him so early in the fight. But it happened, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the result, and I hope to do that again September 4th.
How much do you think that maybe enhanced your stock among boxing fans and media and everything by the way you beat him?
I definitely think it skyrocketed a little bit through the roof, but I still got a lot more to prove.
Right, thank you, Jose. I just have one question from Jezreel. If you can ask him, Martin, how much maybe he feels he might be the most difficult opponent that Jose has fought in his career, even though he just fought Vargas.
If Jose is his most difficult opponent, or if
if Jezreel is the most difficult opponent that Jose will have faced in his career so far.
¿Sentís que vas a ser el? Bueno, sí. Ya le dijiste la pregunta. Okay, go ahead, dale. De que si sentís que José, que vos vas a ser el rival más difícil de la carrera de José hasta ahora.
La pregunta es para Corrales.
Sí, para Corrales, de que si él siente que es el rival más difícil de la carrera de José.
He tenido oponentes un poco más, he tenido oponentes más difícil que él, con más trayectoria, con más experiencia que él, pero a ningún boxeador yo he menospreciado y siempre que subo al ring siempre subo positivo y confiando en mi preparación, en lo que voy a hacer. Así que si menosprecio a mi oponente, siempre es algo positivo y siempre es algo a todo lo mejor de mí. No sé el que piense de mí.
I don't know what he thinks about me, but I'll tell you what I think about him. That I'm not about to underestimate him, no way. Because if you overlook an opponent, then you're just asking for trouble. I've had more experienced opponents than he is, with more accolades, if you will. But I am not about to underestimate his capabilities at all.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Kenneth. That's it for me.
Thanks, Keith. We'll take our next question from Cesar Seda. Cesar, go ahead.
Yes, I have two questions, one for each guy, but I'm going to start with Rayo Valenzuela. Rayo, how you doing? Cesar Seda, América TV, Decisión Dividida. Hey, Rayo, this is the second ex-world champion that they put in front of you. The company is looking like they trust you. They said they want to test you, right? But the difference on this guy right now, he is southpaw. You haven't fought a southpaw, I guess, in a big while. The last 5 opponents, at least, you have that big win against the Vargas, right? But you think this guy, ex-world champion, I know you said you sparred with Machado, but what brings you to the front of you when you see this guy as southpaw and ex-champion?
I actually the fight before Vargas, I fought a lefty um in Minnesota, Austin Dulay, and then I actually stopped him in the fourth round. I dropped him like 4 or 5 times, and I landed at a super high rate, extremely high rate.
So you're already used to the southpaw situation.
Definitely. Go check the fight out, and it'll answer all your questions. I think at one point I don't even know what I was landing, but he wasn't landing much of it on me. And right. I put a beating on him. I'm good with lefties, and the thing is, my jab will be in his face because he's a lefty, and I'm a lot longer than him. And that's where it's all gonna begin. And then I'm gonna close it off to the body and finish up top.
Yesrel, te traen a la mesa a este muchacho joven, un león joven, frente a ti, la promotora. Podríamos decir que llevas todo en contra, pero tú también has vendido tus 2 últimas derrotas, las has vendido caras, vienes de 3 victorias. ¿Qué esperas esa noche en estas grandes luces? Tú has estado antes en esta situación. ¿Qué esperas de este muchacho del Rayo Valenzuela esa noche?
Oh, yo no espero nada. Él tiene que esperar bastante de mí, ya que él es que lo están ascendiendo. Yo soy el que voy hacia allá. Así que yo me estoy preparando fuerte. Voy sin temor y a mi objetivo, que gana.
The question from Cesar was, what do you expect from fighting under the bright lights of Crypto.com Arena, considering that you're coming off 3 straight wins, and that when you did lose, you lost in a very competitive fashion. And Hasriel has said that, I am not intimidated at all by the bright lights. If anyone needs to prove anything, it's Jose.
Question from Keith Eidick.
Yes, my question is for Abner. Abner, you've been off for such a long time, obviously. Was there a point where you really thought you were not going to fight again? And then if so, what changed your mind about it?
Yes, there was a point in my life where I thought I was not going to come back ever again. Frustration more than anything, because I think I waited a year after my injury. I did try to go for my license, but then, my family and, people around me said, you know what, why bother, Abner? You're retired, you're good. Because, I am good. I'm blessed. I am good where I'm at right now. So that kind of stopped me from continuing to pursue, my what I wanted to, which was, to come back. And then when I went and applied for my license, the California license, it was a lot. It was a lot. I had to go through a lot of doctors, people saying that I might not be able to. So it was a process. So yeah, of course, it crossed my mind that, maybe I would never get the opportunity. Maybe they will vote against, me getting my license, but it was quite the opposite. Thank God I got the okay, the approval, and I'm here, and I'm taking fully advantage of it. I'm training 100%. I'm training. I'm just enjoying this camp, training really well. Like I said, I'm treating this like I have been ever since because this is not my first detachment. I had a detachment back in 2008. If you guys knew, and I was able to make a career after that. But now and ever since, I always saw my every fight as possibly my last fight, so on. But I did make a career out of it. So this fight, I'm seeing it as my last fight. So I'm gonna go out with the bang. I'm gonna go out with on my shield, and I'm gonna put a performance for all my fans, my family, my siblings, everybody that's gonna be out in LA at the Crypto Arena.
You mentioned it was a very long process for you at the California Commission. How long ago?
It started last year, mid last year, because of the COVID issue. Everything we had to do through Zoom. Emails. I did go see physically 2 commissioner retina specialist, aside from my doctor. So it was just a process, that obviously any fighter that's been injured, especially the seriousness that they took it really professional, and I just followed instructions and just waited for my turn.
My last question for you, Abner, is you mentioned previously your family kind of dissuaded you from coming back and said, you're okay financially, you've accomplished a lot, why bother? How much negotiating did you have to do maybe with your wife and your children and anyone else to kind of convince them that this was the way you should go?
It took them a while to understand that it wasn't something that I just wanted because, financially or it took them a while to understand that it was something personal, something that I wanted, but at the same time, but like, Dad, we don't want you to get hurt. I'm like, I'll be good, baby. I'll be good, girls. Can defend myself. So they understood. As a matter of fact, today I had a sparring session and they were there, my daughters and my wife, and to see my little one to say, give me props and be like, Dad, you did good today. Give me 5, So things like that, and I'm just enjoying myself, like I said, but it took them a while, but now they're on it. They have to. They support me 100%, like I support them.
And Abner, how old are your children now?
I got a 16-year-old and a 11-year-old daughter.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, Abner. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. We'll take our next question from Ismail Abdul Salam.
Thank you, KB. First question is for Miguel. Miguel, obviously, coming into this fight, Abner, like he mentioned, he's had this habit right now. He's fully back as far as we know. But on your end, as a fighter looking for weaknesses and things to exploit, is that something that you would feel comfortable targeting, or do you feel like that's not something you want to put into your strategy when you're deciphering a way to beat Abner Mares?
Yeah, damn, bro, that's a crazy question.
That's I think people have mentioned it to me, but to me, Abner is a target. I don't just want to, focus on that. What if that doesn't work? What if he's good on his eye? Well, he should be good on his eye. I want to target his body. He's been out. I want to see how his body's doing. He is the target, so I'm not even worried about that. Like I said, people don't realize, man, having a couple of time off, it does your body good. So I'm sure Abner knows. Man, I like to be honest. I tell people Abner's a grown ass man. He knows what he's doing. Like, he's not gonna put his life in jeopardy. So no, his eye's not a target. I mean, I'm targeting him. He is the target. I'm targeting his body, and I'm not even worried about that. That's not even something we're worried about right now.
Thank you. And my last question for you, Abner. When Muhammad Ali came back in 1970, he mentioned the biggest thing was the stamina. He said even after 3 rounds, when he knocked out Jerry Quarry, he was exhausted. That was like the biggest thing for him to try and get back. For you, has it also been the stamina, or has it been something different when you're getting back into training and getting ready for the fight?
I mean, for any fighter, stamina is everything. Training, and for me, the older fighter and the one that's been out, it's just really is timing. Aside from the stamina, I'm gonna get ready regardless. I'm gonna do my conditioning. I'll be ready for 10 rounds, but it's the timing more than anything for me. The reflexes, finding your distance, and we saw that against last weekend, Danny Garcia, what he did. After 2 years, his timing was there. So it's just a matter of sparring a lot, and that's all I'm worried about. My timing, really. The conditioning, no concern, because I train 100% to always be in shape.
Miguel, Abner, thank you very much. Best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ismail. We'll take our next question from Erica Montoya.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Abner, buenas tardes. Quisiera que me contaras cuál es la motivación principal para regresar, ya que mencionabas que dentro de tus metas no está ahorita hablar de los grandes nombres.
Mi motivación, well, Martin, you want to translate that first?
Sure. It's after such a long time away, what do you think is your biggest motivation? What drives you in this fight?
Lo voy a contestar en inglés, América, para que. So basically, my motivation is just to go out on my shield, go out on my own terms, not to be the fighter that, hey, he retired because he got injured. No, I want to be remembered as Abner Mares. After 4 years, he comes back and he puts on a spectacular show and he wins. And, he calls it quits and that's it. I went out on my own terms. I went out on my shield and that's pretty much why I'm doing this.
De todo lo que has.
Perdón, Erika.
No, Erika entiende muy bien de inglés.
No tengo problema.
Lo iba a hacer para el resto, pero si no es necesario, dale, tranquila.
Abner, me estabas comentando que te quieres ir bajo tus propios términos. De todo lo que hiciste tú arriba del ring, ¿te quedó algo por hacer que digas, por eso también estoy regresando?
Do you think that with everything that you have done previously inside the ring, is the comeback motivated by maybe something that you feel that you still need to prove, that you still need to accomplish, and that makes you want to come back even more?
Yes, of course. The fact that when I got, when they pulled the plug, basically because of my injury, I had unfinished business with Tank Davis. I was going to fight Tank Davis, a great fight, and people can still talk and say that you would have lost. No, at that time I would have beat Tank Davis. Probably a Leo Santa Cruz rematch. A lot of fights that, at that age, at that time, I could have done. So, yeah, maybe that motivates me as well. But like I said, I'm taking it fight by fight.
Muchas gracias y mucho éxito.
A ti, Erika. Gracias. Cuídate.
Thank you, Erika. Our next question comes from Ernesto Amador.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Tengo una pregunta para Abner y otra para Miguel. Yo también entiendo inglés, querido Abner, pero te voy a pedir que me contestes en español, por favor. Abner, a ver, hay que hablarlo en plata. Tienes familia, dinero, negocios, 3 divisiones, un gran trabajo como comentarista. Felicidades, por cierto. Entiendo que tienes ganas de cerrar tu carrera de otra manera, pero platícanos, ¿cómo tomaste la decisión? ¿Qué fue lo que te hizo regresar desde el fondo de tu corazón? ¿Recuperaste el Eye of the Tiger? Y junto con esta pregunta, una obligada, ¿sería esa asignatura pendiente con Leo Santa Cruz para cerrar con broche de oro tu carrera?
It's a twofold question from Ernesto. Well, Abner, you have the money, you have the family, you do have the accomplishment having won 3 divisions. What's left there for you to want to accomplish that drives you to come back in that way? And second of all, do you feel like part of the reason for coming back is that you still have a bit of a grudge against Leo Santa Cruz, something to, like that you need to even up with him in order to go out like you want to as someone that went out in his own terms?
Bueno, pues Amador, muy buen Amador, pues obviamente las ganas, el deseo y la oportunidad, ahí está. Vuelvo y no me canso de decir que las oportunidades se aprecian y más cuando sientes aún que puedes dar y tienes con qué dar, así que estoy tomando esto con esa conciencia de que puedo todavía otorgar bastante en el boxeo ante un rival bueno como Miguel Flores. Y lo de Leo Santa Cruz, bueno, pues vuelvo a decir, dependiendo de cómo me vea, si me veo de la patada, pues ¿para qué? ¿Me entiendes? Y si me veo bien y si hay esa oportunidad, nuevamente hablando de las oportunidades, con mucho gusto haríamos la trilogía nuevamente, Leo Santa Cruz y Abner Mares aquí en Los Ángeles.
Well, as far as the first question goes, for the reason for the comeback, I still want to, I still have the drive, I still have the fire in me. And when you have those things, why not come back and try to do your own thing and try to show that you're still very much capable of reaching great heights? As far as Leo Santa Cruz goes, first of all, let's see how I look in this fight. If I look like crap, then why even try? Then like I don't even think that would be a possibility. But if I look like I know I can look and the Santa Cruz possibility is there, then let's do it. The trilogy can absolutely happen if the door is open.
Okay. Y esta es la para Miguel. Miguel, con el gusto de saludarte, michoacano. Vas a enfrentar literalmente una leyenda joven, una leyenda peligrosa y una leyenda muy hambrienta como es Abner Mares. Creo que la prensa está diciendo que eres un rival sencillo, creo que se equivocan enormemente. mi doble respeto para Abner Mares por enfrentar a alguien tan peligroso como tú, pero voy en contraparte.
I think we lost Ernesto. The question was going to be basically, Miguel, whether I guess what he was going to ask was, that you're fighting against somebody that people may be overlooking, that they're calling him an easy opponent. But do you think that the challenge that you're facing against a former champion is something that people should look at differently instead of the way that they're looking at it now?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was right. He was saying basically, I'm fighting a living legend, and he's right. Winning world titles at 18, 22, and 26. Shit, some of us can't even do it at one weight, and he did it at 3. So that tells you a lot about Abner. But then, as far as sometimes it may be good to not look too good in your fights, because I hope they're not thinking that I'll be an easy fight. We've obviously had some rough nights against Eduardo Ramirez. That's one of my worst nights in my boxing career. But I'm always grateful for PBC and the opportunity. This will be my 3rd pay-per-view event. So I hope they're not thinking that I'll be an easy fight, because on my best night, I'll beat some good solid opponents, and I know what I could do. Sometimes as your team will see you and like, man, if you could pull this off fight night, it'll be the perfect night. And I'm hoping, come September 4th, it'll be that perfect night. And I hate to ruin Abner's plans, but we're going to LA looking to call it an upset. Instead of a comeback, it'll be an upset for Abner, and we're looking to go in there and possibly knock him out.
Could you possibly say that in Spanish in a rich way? Because I know Ernesto wanted the answer in Spanish, please.
Okay. Sí, no, pues como dijo Ernesto, estamos peleando con una leyenda viviente. Pues obviamente Abner es campeón, fue campeón mundial en 3 divisiones, 18, 22 y 26. Muchos de nosotros no podemos ni siquiera una división, y él lo hizo en 3, entonces eso no es nada fácil, pero a la vez, pues, dicen que tal vez yo sea una buena para que él se retire, pues estamos ahí para arruinar los planes. Obviamente, pues no he tenido unas buenas noches. También cuando peleé con Eduardo Ramírez fue una de mis peores noches de mi carrera, pero pues siempre agradecido con la empresa que nos siguen dando oportunidades. Esta sería mi 3ª por pago por evento. Entonces, es hora de tomar pues hacer las cosas posibles para llegar con la victoria y pues arruinar los planes de Mares, darle un bonito retiro para que pues ya no quede con ganas de regresar al boxeo.
Yes, amigo. Kenneth?
All right.
Thank you for that question, Ernesto. I'm sorry, Ray. Back to you.
No worries, Kenneth. I just wanted to thank Abner and Miguel for their time.
Eduardo, you have fought 3 opponents that were quality opponents recently: Miguel Flores, Barthelemy, and Marriaga himself. How do you feel about facing one of Mexico's most dangerous prospects and being able to show the world that you can shock everybody and defeat Isaac Cruz?
La verdad, estamos trabajando en este reto. Como lo comentas, vengo de pelear con una gama de peleadores de alto rendimiento, y la verdad, Isaac está igual. Él trae una buena racha, al igual que yo, y me siento muy motivado, y la verdad sí me siento capaz de dar una gran pelea, y sobre todo de buscar la victoria ese día 4 de septiembre.
As you mentioned, the opponents that have fought have been high quality opponents, and I respect Isaac. I know that he's coming in sweet just like I am. He's kind of going through a good moment right now, but at the same time, I fully believe that I'm up to the challenge and that I can defeat Isaac in order to achieve everything that I have in mind.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you, Ernesto. We'll move to Alex Cecilia. Alex?
How you doing? Thank you. This question is for Eduardo Ramirez. With Isaac being known to deal one of the hardest fighters in your weight class, one of his best fights, does this add any extra pressure going to training camp and the work you're doing now? Or are you is that kind of blocked out?
Bueno, Eduardo, sabiendo que Isaac es uno de los rivales más potentes de esta división, ¿eso te agrega presión, te hace pensar 2 veces, o pensás en Isaac como un rival más en tu lista de rivales y no hay diferencia con tus rivales. Let's wait until Eduardo is able to go somewhere else. Give it a second. There we go. ¿Estamos bien, Eduardo?
Sí, pues tenía un poquito de problemas con la señal, pero ya estamos perfectamente. A ver, ¿me repites la pregunta, por favor? Una disculpa.
No hay problema. Que sí, que Isaac es un rival muy potente, de los mejores de la división. ¿Acaso el calibre de Isaac como rival te agrega presión? ¿O vos lo pensás a Isaac como a cualquiera de tus rivales y no le pones un ingrediente adicional a lo que se está peleando?
No, la verdad, yo todas las peleas, todos mis compromisos los tomo con la seriedad que se debe, porque somos unos profesionales dentro de este deporte y a la verdad es un trabajo y claro que no le quito méritos a Isaac. La verdad yo siento que es la pelea más dura que conlleva mi carrera, no menospreciando las anteriores, pero como lo comentan también, es una nueva visión para mí, es un nuevo reto y soy una persona de retos, me gusta estar compitiendo al máximo y esta no será la excepción.
Well, I never think about a particular fight in a specific way that adds pressure, because in the end, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. Isaac is a quality opponent for sure, but I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to because I crave the challenges that come my way. The harder, the better, because I am someone that craves the pressure. I want to face the best, and I will be ready to do so on September 4th. No doubt about it.
And Arado, beating Isaac, how much of a boost do you expect this to do to your resume going forward in your career?
Digamos que le ganas a Isaac. ¿Sentís que esto va a ser un trampolín para tu carrera, que sería algo que le agregaría un punch que no tuviste antes?
Sí, claro, de salir con un resultado positivo ante la pelea de Cruz. Claro, eso es obvio que vendrán grandes retos y esperemos que así sea. Estamos trabajando para eso.
Of course, yeah. If I am to defeat Isaac, then positive results will follow. And whether that is bigger fights, bigger venues, we'll be ready for whatever comes our way. We're looking forward to it.
And one more question just for Isaac. Isaac, after your loss against Tank, you had a 5th round TKO win against Gamboa. You're going against Ramirez now. How are you bouncing back from this Tank victory? Are you kind of just coming back with vengeance in the sense that next time you verse Tank, you want to put him down? How is this training going in for a Ramirez fight?
In the context of Ramirez as an opponent, or the fight against Tank and motivating?
Just his motivation since his loss against Tank. How is it feeling him going into this fight and then what he looks to do after this fight?
¿Cómo te motivó la derrota contra Tank Davis? ¿Te hizo ponerte en modo venganza y querer llevarte a todo el mundo por delante? ¿Y todavía te motiva esa derrota de cara a la pelea contra Ramírez?
Sí, totalmente. Ahora sí que nosotros estamos trabajando para poder adquirir una nueva pelea contra Gervonta Davis y bueno, sé que para poder obtener esa gran oportunidad nuevamente tengo que ir ganando, que ir tumbando a todo aquel peleador que me enfrente y bueno, yo voy a hacer lo propio para dar una nueva pelea contra él y bueno, ahorita enfocado en Eduardo Ramírez, que es el oponente en turno y bueno, nosotros vamos a llegar al 100 para traer ese campeonato mundial plata a México, aquí a la Ciudad de México.
The fight against Tank Davis absolutely motivated me, and my goal is to be able to face him once again. What do I need to do that? Simple. Take down every single opponent that I have in front of me. And Eduardo Ramirez is going to be my next rival. I take it very seriously. I'm not about to overlook anybody, but my obligation is to win this fight and then move forward in order to be able to bring a world title back to Mexico City. Jake, go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. My question is for Zudito. It seemed like you were on your way to possibly fighting for a title at 130 after just immediately moving up from featherweight. Now you're moving up to lightweight with a win on September 4th. Like, what is the plan for you moving forward? Are you going to go back to 130 or do you feel like you're going to stay at 135?
Bueno, acá Jake dice que estabas bien postulado en la 130, ahora estás afrontando este nuevo desafío, pero a futuro, ¿qué te gustaría hacer? ¿Volver a la 130? ¿Mantenerte en un peso más elevado? ¿Cómo ves el asunto? ¿O depende del resultado de esta pelea?
Primero que nada, la verdad, vamos a ir por pasos, no nos vamos a adelantar a decir o a hacer planes. Bueno, soy ese tipo de persona. Yo primero me gusta ir haciendo las cosas como están, como se van dando. Espero un resultado positivo, como lo vuelvo a repetir, y de ahí pues va a haber tiempo y podemos pensar, va a haber muchas opciones después de qué es lo que podemos hacer con mi carrera y vamos a tomar la que más nos convenga.
Look, I try to live in the moment right now. I try not to make too many plans because, you know, that can be counterproductive. But like I said before, I expect the positive results out of this. And then once I do that, I can see which doors keep opening for me. Then I can make the best decision possible in order to benefit my career going forward.
Okay, and then I do have one follow-up to that. Is there still the possibility of him making 130, regardless of what happens on September 4th?
Ahora, lo que quiere saber es, más allá del resultado, ¿ganás o perdés en esta pelea? ¿Existe la posibilidad de que regreses a las 130 libras, perdón, o esa puerta está cerrada y hay una nueva etapa en tu carrera?
No está cerrada ninguna opción. Claro que puedo volver a las 130 libras, pero si hay peleas de más nivel o de más interés, por decir así, claro que me quedo en la 130 o en la 135, perdón. Pero igual sí me costaba un poquito de trabajo dar 130. Mi cuerpo ha ido evolucionando y más que nada por eso tomamos este desafío de subir a la 135 porque he venido llevando una buena evolución y esperemos que quede claro, que quede bien demostrada el 4 de septiembre, que el día de la pelea contra Isaac.
I'm not about to close any doors, Jake. The point is that I want to fight wherever I have the best draw, the best opponent, the fights that draw the most interest, really, whether that's 135 or 130. To be honest with you, yes, I did have some trouble making 130 pounds, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't be willing to come back to it. It's about what fits me best at that moment. I'm talking to my team in order to get the best fights I can now and in the future.
Okay, muchas gracias. And then, Isaac, I have a question for you. There was a fight discussed with Ryan Garcia at one point. Your team said you had an opportunity waiting for you. I know you're not looking past Surdito, but does a fight with Ryan Garcia interest you before getting a rematch with Tank, assuming everything goes right on September 4th?
Bueno, sabemos que acá no estamos viendo más allá de Eduardo Ramírez, Isaac, pero a futuro, ¿considerarías una pelea contra Ryan García, un tipo con el que te han asociado últimamente, antes de la revancha con Tank Davis?
Pues yo no me cierro a ninguna oportunidad. Ahorita yo estoy enfocado en el oponente que es Eduardo Ramírez, pero como lo he dicho, le va a llegar su momento a Ryan y que pues que no comances porque pues cuando ya esté la pelea asegurada pues que no la vaya a tirar como es costumbre ahora de Ryan.
First of all, I am focused on Eduardo Ramirez right now. I would like to tell Ryan Garcia to not be so anxious. Wait for your turn, because when you do get the opportunity to fight me, I hope that you don't back down like you have many times before and throw this fight away. The time will come. Just wait.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Thanks, Jake. Our next question comes from Ismail Abdul Salam. Ismail, go ahead.
Thank you. First question is for Eduardo. Your recent opponents have mostly been a lot taller than you, and you've had a lot of success with them. Now that you're fighting Pitbull, of course, he's a smaller fighter, even though he's naturally bigger. Is it easier for you to fight smaller fighters,
Andy
or do you
Ruiz.
prefer having those taller opponents in the ring?
En el rubro de la altura, Eduardo, tus últimos rivales han sido más altos que vos. En este caso, Isaac es más peticito. ¿Te sentís más cómodo peleando contra rivales que son más espigados, más altos que
Andy
vos?
Ruiz
¿O
is looking
contra
very ahead
rivales
of his
como
heavy.
Isaac, en las que quizás la talla no es un factor?
La verdad, va a sonar como un poco arrogante, pero no sé, me da igual. Grande, chico, a final de cuentas es una pelea y te tienes que adaptar a como sea.
This may sound a little arrogant, but I don't really care. Give me short guys, give me tall guys. I will punch and try to win regardless of the height of my opponent.
Got it. And last question is for Isaac Cruz. Isaac, a lot of people will always herald you for the pressure that you bring to the ring and your aggressiveness. But like you mentioned, you know you need to get to that next level to be a championship holder and get that tank rematch. What do you feel is the biggest overlooked skill you've learned and applied in your last couple fights that maybe people haven't noticed?
Bueno, Isaac, la consistencia y el tratar de llegar al próximo nivel va a ser la clave para que puedas tener esa revancha contra Tank, ¿verdad? Entonces, ¿cuál es un aspecto de tu capacidad boxística en la que sentís que has mejorado y la gente quizás no se ha dado cuenta todavía durante tus últimas 2-3 peleas?
Sí, totalmente, el madurar, el adquirir más experiencia, y bueno, es lo que la gente todavía no se da cuenta que cuando yo peleé con Tank Davis no llevaba la experiencia adecuada, y bueno, ahorita ya la estoy adquiriendo, y bueno, cuando se llegue su momento de enfrentarlo nuevamente, vamos a estar más conscientes en todos los sentidos, con más experiencia y más fortalecidos mentalmente.
I would say that it doesn't have to do with the physical aspect of it, it's more mental. I am now more mature, more experienced, and I can guarantee you that when the time does come for me to face Davis again, that maturity and that experience that I have been acquiring, that I will acquire going forward, is going to be a big factor, and it will allow me to be more aware of everything surrounding me to be even better next time around.
Thank you both and best of luck.